This is David Braun, and welcome to video number 4 in the series of performing a market condition analysis. And this video covers databasing. A database is simply a list of records. This is a list of records as it came out of my MLS, straight out of my MLS, and it exported to a spreadsheet. Now, there are several functions that a spreadsheet can do with it. One thing, I'm going to automatically fit the column width. Now you can see the data. Before we had those little number signs. Now these are my column headings, or what my fields are called. There's the city, zip code. Most MLSs are pretty similar in this. You'll notice the particular one that I picked, the particular export report I picked, brought a lot of data, a lot of fields over. Now, for the total solution and for most other market condition analysis to run, we don't need all of these. We only need 8 or 9 of them, 7 or 8 or 9, something like that. Now, what we're looking at, I call this a standard database format. Most of your programs are going to require this to run. The total solution requires this type of a setup. Each cell has an individual thing in it, an individual entity in it. Now, there are some that are like, let me show you a comma delimited, for example. What it would do, it would start, everything would be in column A. It would be like this 1536, separated by a comma, Cavalier Drive, separated by a comma, city is Maryville, separated by a comma, and it goes across the whole database. Now, this is called a comma delimited format, and Excel won't, most programs won't read that directly. So what you'll have to do, if your MLS exports in that type of format, and sometimes they use the little straight up, this little thing that instead of separating with a comma, they separate with these little straight up lines. I'm sure if I was an English major, I would know what those are called, but I don't know for sure. But you can go hit the Excel help and type in text import wizard, and Excel will help you convert that to a standard format. Now, the other thing I've seen is where it looks kind of like this, but you can't format anything. And what it looks like is some MLSs are shooting this in, and it's kind of embedded. I think these might be embedded. See, when I click on that and then click off, it does something. These photo images and mine are embedded, but the rest are not embedded. Now, I think I've had one appraiser send me his information, and every single field was embedded, and you had to double click to do anything with it. And when the total solutions program will not work with that data. So basically, this is the kind of data that you want. The amount of data is not important. Here's 95 or 94 records. Now let's talk about some other database rules. Number one is the database must start in cell A1. See, this is cell A1 up here. Must start in A1, and it can't have any blank columns. For example, you can't suddenly have this. Insert a column. You can't have this. What the computer reads is this is the database to C and down. Then if you accidentally had a blank row in here, the computer would see this as the database. It would say, oh, well, it stops where there's blanks. So you can't have these kind of empty columns or empty rows. All right. Now, one of the steps we talked about was screening this information. Let's see if we can find list price, for example, right here. I'll show you one or two more things. List price should be here in the front somewhere. There it is, list price. Now, what I can do is click data. These are some nice functions, and I can sort. And I'm going to sort by list price. Now, it's going to reorganize them in the price. So these go from 120 to 300. And you might say, wow, I don't think some of these should be in, and you can look and see why, and then you can delete some of these records out. So feel free to search, for example, maybe by subdivision, and then click out the subdivisions that aren't supposed to be in yours. So basically, this I haven't covered a whole lot, but basically this is what a database is. This is your database. So when you go now to the total solution, we actually map. There's part of what you have to do is like date of sale. We're looking for what is the date of sale called in your database. So that would be the database that comes from the MLS. So let's go look for date of sale. And I happen to know it's way over here. And like I said, the good news with Total Solution, it's okay to bring in as many columns as you want in any order you want. Because once you map it, here we go, closing date. Once you map this, it'll go find the information. You don't have to put it in any special order. So let me think of what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to copy, and then I'm going to go over and I'm going to paste that in. It's best to paste because computers are not very forgiving. The other thing I want to show you is real estate owned. My database calls that field in what my MLS drops in is foreclosure and bankruptcy. And the word to mean that it is one is the word yes. I've seen some databases that use the word and MLSs that use the word Y. So this gives you an idea, and you have to set up the fields. If they're different, they may be exactly the same for condos. You set these fields up, and then it's mapped. Now, once a date is over there, and you want to get it, and it's in the standard spreadsheet format, to get it into our database, what we want to do is click the load. We're not going to bother to copy and paste. There's the workbook. There's the page. And I'm going to bring it over to the subject market data section. And so now I have that data. And then this is ready to run. So that's not much, but it gives you a little information about databasing.